welcome guys to the another session which this topic which today we are going to learn is unsteady flow case. In the last class, in the classroom sessions which we have learned was about the steady flow cases, and now we will be learning about the unsteady flow cases. Unsteady flow cases actually which is not in a part of your syllabus, so that's the case I'm taking a separate session which is an additional syllabus for you, which most of the cases this topic will be used for your exams, which maybe it can kind of gate or some other exams. So I'm going with this topic. So anyways, one about this topic, additional topic, as well as another additional topic which I will be going on through in our class also. So coming to this unsteady flow case, which is, as you know, for the case of your steady flow as d mean m by dt minus dm out by dt is equal to dmcv by dt, as this is 0 for the case of your steady flow, because whatever the mass which is entering in, which will be the out mass will be equal. There is no accumulation which is going to take place in case of your steady flow. But for the case of your unsteady flow case, this may not be the same case, which your dmcv by dt may not be equal to 0, because there is some kind of mass will be accumulated in. So whatever the amount of mass which is entering in may not be equal to the mass which is coming out. So here let us consider one example such that it will be easy for you to understand. Here, which the case which I have assumed is the flow line part, which we have the supply line over here at the top. You can observe the figure which is given over here, and there is a valve in between, and at the bottom there is a control volume, there is a control surface over here. Okay, so to this, the amount of the flow which is being taking place over here when the valve is opened, when this valve is opened, so here the flow which comes in and gets accumulated onto this control volume. So for this case, let us try to derive the steady flow and first law applying to the unsteady flow case. Okay, which we have derived already the steady flow one in case of the class itself, where it is dq minus d dash w, which is equal to where h1 plus v1 square by 2 plus z1 sorry h2 plus v2 square by 2 plus gz2 minus h1 plus v1 square by 2 plus gz. Okay, that is already which you have derived. So for this unsteady flow, we'll try to derive over here now. So for this flow, if let us try to consider the properties as u1, p1 and v1. Okay, so here when the valve is open, as you know, this is your control surface and control volume. So to calculate this, first let us try to go with the initial properties to calculate your initial energy over here, and then final energy, and then we'll apply this first law for the process. Okay, so here initial energy, initial energy initial energy E1 is equal to m1 mi ui, okay, which is initially the mass which is mi, and sorry m1 u1, which you have the mass at the initial m1 and internal energy 1. Okay, plus m2 minus m1 into ui. Okay, so this is your initial energy. Okay, and next after this we'll try to calculate the final energy. Final energy is m2 u2. Okay, And after this, let us also try to calculate the flow work, because you have your energies which is of internal energy as well as kinetic energy and potential energy. As in the previous classes in our classroom also, we have discussed about the study flow. When it is an open system, you will be having a flow work, because you are allowing the flow to go on. So for that case, you have some mass which is allowing to flow on, you have flow work. Okay, so what is a flow work? Let us try to calculate the flow work. Flow work is equal to minus of m2 minus m1 into pi vi is m2 minus mi m1. Okay, so here how you got the relation of your m2 minus m1 into pi minus into vi is nothing but initially, which you have this w is equal to p into v2 minus v1. Okay, but in the case of your constant pressure process, which in your case of your closed system, as this is a case of your open system, this will be for your constant volume 1, as we will derive all those derivations in the class. So here, as your final volume velocity, this is 0. Okay, and initial is you have volume mass into specific volume. Okay, m2 minus m1 into specific volume, specific volume. Okay, so by this you have got this relation, by this you have got this relation, this flow work. Okay, so now we got the initial energy and final energy as well as the flow work. Now let us try to apply this for your first law, applying to the what do you call process. So q 1 2 is equal to change in energy plus change work. Okay, here there is no shaft work or there is no mechanical work. The only work which is involved over here is flow work. Okay, so here the change in energy, which is nothing but the final energy minus initial one, so it will be m2 u2 minus m1 u1. Okay, minus m2 minus m1 into u1 minus, if we consider the kinetic energy changes, that is if we consider the kinetic energy, if we are not neglecting it, that becomes m2 minus m1 into v square by 2. Okay, so this is about your complete energy. Okay, and you have another one is flow work. Flow work is nothing but, before we have derived, m2 minus m1 into pi vi. This is your flow work. Okay, this is another example which the figure I have given. I will tell you about that later case after the final derivation one. So here, by equating this, we get m2 u2 minus m1 u1. Okay, minus which I am taking m2 minus m1 as common, m2 minus m1 into u1 plus pi vi plus v square by 2. Okay, so this can be written as m2 plus m2 u2 minus m1 u1 minus m2 minus m1 into, as this, as you know, u plus pv, u plus pv is nothing but, this is h. Okay, so here directly now we can write this as m2 minus m1 into h plus v square by 2. Okay, now finally we can write this as the unsteady flow equation as q plus m2 minus m1 into h plus that is hi plus v square by 2 is equal to m2 u2 minus m1 u1. Okay, so this is your final equation. Final equation, which this is your unsteady flow equation, or it can be applied for a variable flow. It can be applied for a variable flow. So now let us apply this for the various special cases, where for the first case which we assume it as to be an adiabatic flow. If it is an adiabatic, the first case which you are assuming it as adiabatic, where your q is equal to 0, where q is equal to 0, then your final equation becomes where q is equal to 0, so this becomes m2 minus m1 into hi, and also there is some change in kinetic energies. Okay, so m2 u2 minus mi ui. Okay, so this is your final case for your adiabatic flow. This is for your adiabatic flow. Okay, so now let's try for another one with another special case, where if initially, if your tank is empty, if your initially your tank is empty, if initially tank is empty, that is mi is 0. If your mi is 0, then what would be the case? Let us go through that. If your tank is initially empty, then m2 hi is equal to m2 u2. Okay, so your m2 will be gone, so finally your hi will be equal to u2. Okay, so if your tank is initially empty, then whatever the enthalpy which is inlet hi is equal to the internal energy which is at the exit u2. Okay, suppose if let us go with another one, if that is an ideal gas, if that is a case of an ideal gas, if it is ideal gas, then let us try to apply this. As we know, h is function of temperature and u is also a function of temperature, which I have already learned about this derivation in our class itself, where as you know hi, which will be equal to cp ti, and u2 will be equal to cv t2. Okay, so for this case, let us try to equate this h is equal to u2. Okay, so here h is equal to u2, so that cp ti is equal to cv t2. So from this we get like ti can be written as Cv by Cp into T2. So this can be written as 1 by gamma into T2. So finally this T2 can be written as T2 can be written as gamma into Ti. The final expression which you have got is T2 is equal to V into Ti. Okay, so this is the final expression which you have got. So this indicates like the exit temperature which you have got, the final temperature is nothing but the product of the adiabatic index gamma into the initial temperature. So this, let us try to apply this for the case of with one example, so that you will understand what is an exit temperature relation, why you are going with this relation. Okay, let us take just before the figure. So here let us take an case where you have a bulb bottle which is fixed. There is a valve here, there is a bottle fixed here, and there is a valve, and here there is a tube, and there is a pipeline, there is a pipe flow. Okay, so to this, if there is an envelope of a system which has been placed over here, and if the air is allowed to flow in, then this bottle gets completely filled. So for this case, if your temperature, if this is a case of an adiabatic filling bottle, if this is a case of an adiabatic filling where air is temperature of 27 degrees centigrade. Okay, if air is at a temperature of 27 degrees centigrade, then T2 is equal to 1.4 into 27 plus 273. Okay, that becomes T2 as 420 degrees centigrade, which is nothing but which is equal to 147 degrees centigrade. Okay, so this final temperature is, you have a rise of 147 degrees centigrade, which was initially the temperature is 27, so the final temperature is 147 degrees centigrade. So this rise in temperature, this rise in temperature is nothing but that is due to flow work being converted to increase in internal energy. Okay, that is the case which initial temperature, which is of 27, has been raised on to 147 degrees centigrade. Okay, I hope this is a clear for you, which we have derived in the session about the unsteady flow case, applying for the first law, which we know the relation like where H, the enthalpy at the inlet, is equal to the internal energy at the outlet, that is U2. And also we have found another relation between the exit temperature and inlet temperature as T2 is equal to gamma into Ti. Okay, so this is nothing but the initial temperature which is given, will you have a rise at the exit temperature, that is due to the flow work which has been converted into the rise in the internal energy. I hope the session is clear to you. So we'll go, I'll catch you with another session in the later case. Okay, thank you.